What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Good to see everybody here yet again, 3 days in a row. We are just pumping out the streams here from the V1 HQ. Good to see everybody on this afternoon, morning, evening. Definitely morning time here, San Diego. That's where we're currently sitting at gate 24, I believe, San Diego. And we're going to take this flight right back to Salt Lake City, which we did yesterday. Now, we're going to try to not do all the comparison stuff, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what the difference is in the two sims. Yesterday we were in X-Plane 12, I had my orthos up, I had Active Sky running, we were in the TOLUS, we had a sweet sound pack, everything was looking pretty darn good. So let's flip that coin around. We're back in Microsoft. I'm in the FlyByWire 320 Neo, which is a free add-on. We are running Latin VFR San Diego, I believe the scenery. That new scenery for Salt Lake, whoever made that, I've got it. And GSX. That's pretty much it. Those are the only add-ons we got today. So it should be a fun one. I love running GSX with the fly-by-wire, auto, full-time, real-time. Just let it do its thing. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Brian V, thanks for the 17 months of support as a commercial pilot. Salute to you, sir. Appreciate you. JP, good to see you. Purry Feet, good to see you. Vladimir's here. Danny Rubel is here. Ben Jungly Sim, good to see you, my friend. Havoc's in the house. Stephen Hayner, 49 Whiskey. Jeremy Harvey, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. Nope, trip starts tomorrow, Jeremy. I got a three-legger day trip tomorrow. Should be a long one. 5:15 report time. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be a brutal, but I did it to myself. I swapped out of an evening trip so I can get back earlier tomorrow. I don't know why I did that. So it's like a 3 a.m. wake up. Scott, good to see you. Stephen Hayner in the house. Ryan Valdez is here. David Isaac, Inverted Aviator, Rip. Good to see you, my friend. Andrew Boothridge, Kemal Akba. Gonna get me in trouble, man. Scotty 2, Caleb, AJ Funari, my friend, good to see you. Zach Newline, Zach Hamilton, and Milltown 24. Many more. If I missed your name, I apologize. We are going to be kicking it off right here, right now. Sounds like we have some situations going on back here. What do we got? Ooh, we got an unknighted. We got an unknighted 320 with IEs right next to us. We got a Delta over there, 321 CFMs. I think unless that was a 7.5. No, that's a 320. Is that a 7.5? I think it was a 321. Looks like got some traffic here in the old San Diego. Love this airport. Used to fly in here quite a bit. Haven't done it so much from Atlanta. You know, when I was based in the middle part of the country, I definitely flew here much more frequently. It's been a little while, but I do love San Diego. It's a fun little airport, fun little approach to come in here. Hold on, I got people blowing up my phone. I gotta mute this. They must know that we're going live. All right, what's up? American PSA. Yeah, I know, you see that? I like that little PSA livery over there. Doing some gear swings at the gate. Probably got some issues. Maintenance is probably here. But what I really wanted to look at was just look at the surrounding terrain. This is default. You know, it's just beautiful. It is a thing of beauty. I feel like we did X-Plane 12 a good service. We did our job. We got to see it. Now we're going to get in here and we're going to see how this airplane flies. So without further ado, what are you using for model matching? No, I'm using whatever the one was before FSLTL. Christy set it up for me. Can't think of it now. Whatever the OG like model matching was. I don't mess with model matching. So whatever it was is what I got. Barf bags have been restocked after last night's flight. Hey, we were a little firm in X-Plane. So this is my thought process here. I'm going to say this, and then we're gonna get this thing fired up because it is real time. We got a full load. We're taking as much cargo as we possibly can back to Salt Lake. We're landing right under max landing weight, 148, like 300 or whatever. Max is 148,591 in the Neo. So AIG, that's what I got. Thank you. So here's my thought process. I obviously don't know how to flare the Airbus in X-Plane 12. So I'm going to try to flare this airplane in Microsoft. We're going to see how the landing turns out. And then tomorrow, however I land the airplane tomorrow, I'm going to see which one it represented more. Do I smash it? Then it's probably I've been flying too much Microsoft and I need to get back in X-Plane 12 to learn how to land again. Or do I just absolutely butter it? I don't know if we're going to butter it today in the Microsoft, but we'll see. So stay tuned. If you're a member, I'll be sure to, I'm going to try to remember to print out the load 15 report, which is the landing rate in the real airplane, so we can kind of compare, see what I do. All right, here we go. Let's get into the airplane. We got to fire this thing up real time, real weather. Battery 1, battery 2, we got a full load of passengers to board up, so we're going to just try to get on it right here, right now. Let's get the batteries on, GPU power hooking up. We're on the latest we're on the latest development version of the fly-by-wire. I can see here that they've dimmed my screen sound. Oh my gosh, I need to have a word with you, Chaos. What are y'all doing over here? I understand we like to dim screens. Make the default setting. I know you can save the profiles for lighting. I know you can save profiles. But make the people who want to scroll these up every single time, make them save a profile for dim. This is a 320 Neo. We are not in, CRT. These are not cathode ray tubes. My goodness, look at that. I gotta come all the way. I got to brighten everything up here. I feel like I need some nods for this. Jeez, chaos. Fly-by-wire, 0 for 10 right out of the gate. I got to brighten everything up here. My goodness. All right. Have the wheels been replaced since last night's flight? Yes, they have. Look behind you on the end of the pier. See what livery it's showing for you. Team Vodka. Behind me on the end of the pier. You're in something funky because it's an all-yellow default one over there, Team Vodka. I have no idea what you got rocking. XP72 is in the house with 41 months of forever, 400 months it feels like. XP, good to see you, man. V1, I'll pay you for an RNAV tutorial into San Diego. If y'all did not catch XP72's approach and landing into San Diego last night in a 767, you need to go do that. You need to just go to the landing and just set aside some time because it's not just a normal landing. There was, 3 attempts, 3.5 attempts? I think it's close to 4 attempts there. You had 2 go-rounds? And then like a half fly through the localizer, come back around. Was the third time's the charm? I was so, right when he was coming down on his first approach, I told everybody in chat I'd buy him a copy of X-Plane 12 if he landed it. And then he saw the runway. He was only about 1,500 feet high, but the XP of old, like pre-10K subs, would definitely have landed it from that high. So when he saw the runway, right after I made that bet, I was like, oh no, I'm about to owe a lot of people a lot of X-Plane 12s. But then he did the right thing. He did a nice go-around, came back around, and then he did the same thing. He was high again, had to come back around. And then the third time he like blew through the localizer, and then there was traffic. We almost hit terrain. It was absolutely wild. So go check that one out. XP, good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll be sure to catch you. I think you're streaming later today too, right? So good deal. Good deal. Dougal's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. All right, we need to fire up this airplane. Yes, we do. Let's go cruise supply, ground control, CVR test. There it is. We go 1, 2, and 3. Strobe is 2 position switch, so we'll leave it off. Nav position 1, off auto, arm U. We'll come up here and do a fire test. I got like some crazy hiccups right now, guys. I apologize. I'm trying to hide them. Everything looks good on the right-hand side of the panel. Beautiful. We'll come down here, and we should have a problem. Oh, look, we hit it. So we hit it just in time. If you come down here and your FADEC is unpowered, you need to hit the FADEC power buttons to check the oil quantities. That is a NEO thing, so this should depower here in a little bit. I believe that's been updated. But right now, I caught it because the airplane just powered on. We got 5 minutes before it depowers. So we got good oil. We'll check our hydraulics, make sure everything is nice and good there. Bleed pressure, not so on I want. Pressurization is in auto. Hit the status, recall. Everything looks good. With that done, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to brighten up more of the cockpit because apparently it's nighttime. So let's turn these integral lights all the way up. Now let's turn these all the way up. There we go. Now we can see a little bit better. Let's come to the initialization. Let's do an init request. Let's pull our flight plan. Once we get our flight plan in the box, we're going to call the fuel truck, and then we're going to do real-time boarding because we have a full load. 176, I believe, is what we got. Cost index at 10. Those are rookie numbers. We're going to bump those numbers up. So now we'll go 99 there. Frontier Flight 357, alternate of Grand Junction. That's a little interesting. That's probably why we have so much extra fuel. So we got Grand Junction there. San Diego, Salt Lake. Beautiful. With that done, let's quickly go ATSU. Let's get some weather. We'll print it off. We'll do an ATIS request. No, we can't do ATIS because there's no VATSIM weather, right? Yeah, so weather request. METAR, I really don't care about Grand Junction. We'll send that off. We'll print these. Should take a second here. Load the winds. Oh, I'll load the winds, Chaos. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget. That's CFO's job. Don't let me forget, though. Gav, Karma, good to see you. Hi, V1, XP, and chat. How's it going? Big hello from England. Good to see you. You sound like you're from England. Oh, no, that's London. Loving the the new EGNX. Finally, East Midlands. East Midlands, yes, East Midlands. I heard it's pretty good. I saw Mr. Flight Deck to Sim was flying that yesterday. He had a couple of smasheroos as well. So, I'm just kidding. He nailed it. It was right on the markers. But, yeah, the East Midlands scenery does look pretty good. All right, departure 27, and we'll put in our departure arrival, and then we're going to get the fuel truck. We are going to go off the Zoo 3, and we're going out to the Mitbal transition. We'll insert that into Salt Lake. Looks like winds are out of the south. Ooh, that's going to change things up here. That's going to change things up here. Winds out of the south. Let's go over to the fly pad real quick, and I tell you what, let's call the fuel truck because we need to get some fuel. So I've downloaded my sim brief. We need 14.6. So we only have 7.3. So let's go GSX. We'll call the fuel truck over here.
Refueling
now,
truck is
someone correct me if I'm wrong here.
Please don't load
because I honestly don't remember.
And ask to do it.
I've grown to love this GSX add-on more and more, especially when I'm in the fly-by-wire, because it works like I remember it working with P3D and FS Labs, etc., where you do it and it sends the stuff over real time and gets passengers loaded, fuel loaded, all that good stuff. Is there a program like that in X-Plane 12? I honestly can't remember. Did we have some sort of I know we have the visual baggage loading, but as far as passengers and having to wait real time, someone remind me if we do or not. Because if we do, I'm going to have to get that in X-Plane 12. That was one thing I really missed yesterday in the toll list. Wow, this guy just drifted right between those two tugs there. That was the Shack
Fuel
oatmeal
truck
move.
is in position.
Please
don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Okay, we'll do. We'll stand tight. So someone remind me if that's something we need that we can get in X-Plane 12. Sam, is it Sam? So does that bring passengers and stuff and fuel? Because I know we do bags, but I don't remember if it does passengers and fuel and all that stuff. Jeremy Harvey says, how do you log on to CPDLC like that screenshot? Do we have CPDLC? Let me take a look, Jeremy. I will try to, Jeremy, I will try to get maybe a shorts video of it tomorrow. I'm in a CPDLC aircraft. So basically, in real life, you go ATC comm connection, and then you go, we do a couple of things. So we go connection status, and I believe there's in this, I think it's in this menu, we would clear all message history. So basically, when you first get to the airplane, you want to delete all the message history first for like storage. And then I go back here, and then I go notification, and within 30 minutes to our departure time, we will notify center. And here in the States, it's going to be CUSA or KUSA. We'll do this, no active ATC, hit notify, and what would happen is this would turn green. And then once it turned green, it means they are notified, and as soon as our clearance is available, we'll get the ATC light, we'll get a PDC printed up right here on our CPDLC. We can acknowledge it and print it out. I will try, Jeremy, I'll try to remember to get something like that on shorts video for you tomorrow. So it is called SAM.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
All right, we've already downloaded it. So, and I downloaded it by hitting this little fill block fuel from SimBrief, which is 14.6. We're real time, and they're going to start pumping gas right now. I don't remember SAM doing passengers and fuel. Maybe I have to look into that for the next X-Plane 12 stream, because I really missed this aspect. When you're trying to do, when you're trying to do realism too, but like, I don't know, when we were yesterday, I feel like there was just nothing to do. You just load up the airplane and go. I mean, I can turn the airplane on, I can turn the Airbus on, get it loaded up in probably less than 4 minutes. So is that what we're supposed to, just 4 minutes and then push off the gate? I remember the Q400 had real-time passenger loading. I really enjoyed that. I'm trying to scroll back here, but I miss. Keith, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Glad you're enjoying the streams. McShiggity, I'm going to need download and get a GSX tutorial. McShiggity pilot, yes. There's tons of tutorials on YouTube. I would recommend doing that. What I've done for GSX is I basically just use it for the basics. So I rarely, if ever, download profiles for airports. You've seen on stream how many times it doesn't work out. I think Fenix definitely needs one. But for the most part, even with just default GSX, if I go nose left, tail right, or whichever way, it seems to do a pretty good job of putting me on the line. But you can get much better, much more detail, all that stuff when you download profiles. Now the fly-by-wire is perfectly integrated with GSX, so it makes it the most fun. I'm really hoping the Fenix will follow suit in the V2 if we can get some integration with the GSX. It'd be pretty sweet. You're in the... Oh, you are the PSA? That's you, Vodka, in the PSA? That's awesome, man. Good livery, dude. Good livery. Everything loading-wise, X-Plane is visual only. SAM, along with some other freeware alternatives, don't actually change your weights or anything. Neither have any settings for numbers of passengers. Okay, Marlano, appreciate you. So that is a downside. I guess I don't remember what we used to do before having to board people up and stuff. All right, while it's fueling, though, I do want to finish the rest of this flight plan. We have south winds in Salt Lake, so let's see if we can get this done before fueling. That way we can just sit back and enjoy the loading process. I need to go over to Navigraph here. Let's go to our 2 page. And actually, I've already pinned Salt Lake. So Salt Lake, winds out of the south. We're probably going to have to come in and land 1/6s. What did I pin? I pinned the arrival, the Queen 5. Will that allow us to come down? It will not. Where are my ATCs in chat? If we can't do the Queen 5, what do we need? I'm going to look this up real quick. We're coming off the McAllister transition. So let's just see what we got here. Bear 5, will the Bear 5 work? Anything bring us into the north? Boneville. No. Could change by the time we get there. Nope. Delta 6 RNAV. Check the jammin'. Oh, yeah. Well, that would work, too. Delta 6 would work. Jammin' will definitely work off of MLF. Thank you. So we're going to hit the jammin' 5. So here we go. Salt Lake, arrival. We're going to do 1/6 right on the jammin' 5. And approach via for 1/6. Let me go here. Approaches 1/6 right. I'm going to star you. That's going to be I'll tell you what, let's just take it off of rough. Can we do that? MLF transition. I'm not going to do that. We'll just keep the no approach via. We'll insert that. So now if we go plan mode. Why is everything so dim in this cockpit? Chaos! I demand a refund. Making me scroll every single knob up. Magic barrel ref key, my favorite thing to do. 2996 is set. Alright. Let's go here and so there's our departure. Loop-de-doo around. We have a disco in there? We do. So after meatball, direct cades. Let's go ahead and sync that up. There we go. Meatball, cades. Hackman all the way out, Laker, MLF, and then we're on the arrival for the Jammin' 5 into Salt Lake. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautifully done. All right, so flight plan is done. Nothing in the secondary. RadNav, nothing to hard tune. Progress page, we'll put the airport reference point in here. Boom. Perf data, we're going to wait till we're done with that one. Fuel, we'll also wait till we're done. Init B, we're also going to wait till we're done. I think the fueling is done, though. 14.6 is on board. It is. He's done fueling. How much did that cost us? I don't know. Bill it to the airline. So we'll put 14.6 right here on the block fuel. And then we'll double check our fuel tanks. They are on board and balanced. Let me check the engine page. Look, so here you go. Properly depowered. If you didn't check your hydraulics earlier, this is when you'd have to go ahead and do it. So you have to turn the FADEC power on the overhead. But right now, we'll just go ahead and leave that. Fuel is good, so we'll go ahead and get rid of this. We'll turn on our fuel tank pumps, prime the APU, and we'll turn the seatbelt sign on, and we'll get ready for boarding because it's about time. The Delta 6 is an RNAV, Jammin' 5 is not, but are basically the same. Okay, thank you, Big D. Appreciate you. X-Plane 12 is great for flying in areas that do not have great airports for Microsoft. Most of Africa is a great example of this. There you go. Didn't Africa just receive an update, though? Thought Africa just received an update. All right, they are ready to go. I think it's time to call the boarding. So to do boarding, GSX refueling completed. Beautiful. I'm going to go over here. Payload. I'm going to download from SimBrief. Look at that. We got a full load. So now we're going to go here, GSX, and start the boarding process, please.
Boarding requested.
Fuel truck is off. You can hear the fuel pumps on. We'll fire up the AP here in just a minute. Are these new sounds? David, these are the fly-by-wire sounds. I don't know if there's been an update since the last time I've flown the fly-by-wire, but the fly-by-wire sounds are phenomenal. Oh, they're opening the cargo door. You hear that? Speaking of sounds.
Do you want a board crew?
Yes, I'm already on board. Actually, can I just say no? So we can speed up. There we go.
Passengers boarding.
Because we're already on board. I don't need a board crew. Why does a FADEC on the CEO not power down but does on the NEO? Because Airbus designed it that way. I actually don't have a better answer for you than that. It doesn't power down on the CEO, but on the NEOs it does. Salt Lake is 180 at 16, gust 2-1. Jeremy, that's going to be a little spicy approach in there, sounds like. It's always spicy going into Salt Lake. Oh, it's a 50th Europe World update in Microsoft? I must have been looking at something else then. More Europe updates in Microsoft? Geez, Steven. I didn't download it. I opted out of it, so... I'm not flying over there. I don't need it on my rig right now. Fly-by-wire sounds are awesome. They are, Sky Blue, for sure. All right, let's... One thing I... See, now I keep moving my camera the opposite. So in X-Plane 12, the click and drag view goes the opposite direction as Microsoft. Now I got to get used to going opposite direction here. So I'm going to position the camera right here. Let's fire up this APU. 5 of 174. Let's go ahead and start it off. Take a listen. Oh, Boris, no APU fuel door sound. Unless it was already open. It might have already opened. Ailerons into the wind. What's up, man? So this is fly-by-wire and not the Phoenix? Some would tell Phoenix V1 is cheating on them. Well, you know, the Phoenix flies like, I'm just messing. I'm just messing. I want to do a Neo flight. It's a real flight from Frontier, so I guess we could have done a Delta flight in the Phoenix too, but. Al W, good to see you, my man. Welcome to the stream. I was just texting my Texas buddies and I said, hey, y'all coming out in October? Because if you're not, I'm going back. Cessna or Piper? Kyle, Pipers are easier to fly in my... Well, I shouldn't say that. Pipers are more fun to fly, in my opinion. Low wing for the win. But Cessnas are great training aircraft. They're both great training aircraft. That's like dark roast or medium roast, you know? I like dark roast coffee, but I'll do a medium roast too. That's all you got. I just like coffee. I wonder why Spirit and Frontier use a 320 Neo in the U.S. Because they're saving money. Well, I don't know. Did you guys see that Pratt & Whitney recall? That's going to be interesting. JetBlue's got a ton of orders. Everybody's got orders for the Pratts. So it might be interesting. I forgot to do Captain on that one. So everything is set there. I'm going to start the chrono. I already had it going. Oh, I'll reset you, dang it. We'll let it go for about 2 minutes because it's been running for about a minute. 290906, no ATCs online. Let's set our top altitude. What are we able to do today? 39 is our, well, 37 is what we filed. Let's see if we can get there. I'll put in 37 for now because that's what we have filed and we might be able to reach it. 370 is set. We'll have terrain on. We don't have to do it right now though. But yeah, SimBridge is working. Look at that beautiful terrain depiction. And all those little dots, I don't know how they did that, but that is very true to real life. That's pretty much what it looks like. Well, we don't need terrain on right now, so we'll leave that off. Light roast has more caffeine. Al, you know, I learned that a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Runway 16 left is closed. All right, we're landing 16 right, so it shouldn't be an issue. All right, if you have this, if you're in your fly-by-wire and you come down, you're like, how do I check my oil quantities? Well, just like we do in real life, you come up here all the way to the maintenance panel, the FADEC ground power, push those puppies on, and look at that. Check your oil, make sure everything is good, and then we'll come back up here and depower the FADEC. Cool to see that functionality being installed. And this is proper too. It immediately going right immediately going right back to Amber X's. That's proper. So good deal. Good job on the fly-by-wire team getting that squared away. Everything else looks good. I'm going to turn up the integral lightings even more. We can squawk 2000 over here since we're waiting on that. 2000 is set on 1. Auto. Beautiful. Put this on all mode. Weather and radar is off. Doesn't work anyway. All right. 48 of 174. Now what? Sam F., good to see you. Which roast has more caffeine? I need whichever one. Sam, it's the lighter the roast, the more caffeine. I believe it has to do with the heat, right? At which the bean is cooked. I think that's what I saw. Best GA for Microsoft is out. A2A Comanche. No doubt. Gustavo, good to see you. Pratt recall for engine assembled before 2021 when they detected the contamination. As long as it's not in the batch, the airline should be okay. I know Spirit and Frontier got quite a few Pratts, so that'll be interesting. I trained in a Cherokee 140 after 10 hours practice in a Cessna 172 SP. I got my pilot certificate in the Cessna. Good deal, McShady pilot. Good deal, man. Cherokee 140. I've got some time in those hot boxes. Unpopular opinion, but the worst thing about the Airbus is listening to the Y electric pump for 15 minutes during a long single-engine taxi. Even my Sony noise cancellation headphones are no match. So, whenever we are parked, like on a ground hold, I always turn the yellow pump off because we're allowed to do it in our SOP. I think some airlines are not. But yes, it drives me nuts too, Sam. The last time I was jump seating, actually the last time I was in training, like what, a month ago? Since I'm rebased, I got to go back to training at the end of next month. But we were held on the ground for 40 minutes. 45 minutes, actually. I think it was close to an hour. And same deal. We were parked, one engine running, and the yellow electric pump was running, and I was sitting right there at the emergency exit. Oh my gosh, I wanted to just call the flight attendant and tell them to go up front, hey, can you guys turn that yellow electric pump off? You don't need it running on the ground with the parking brake set. That's why Airbus designed the P2 to be inhibited with the engine master split and the parking brake on. But anyway. 49 whiskey, that's originally what I thought. Dark roast having more caffeine, but it's actually the other way around. This is VATSIN, correct. Beach, greater than Cessna, greater than Diamonds, greater than Pipers, but I'm 6'2", so I'm biased against Pipers. Yes, that's a fair assessment there, Gustavo. At 6'2", the Pipers can be snug. Man, I remember crawling into those Arrows and Seminoles. Got a little Southwest out there. Oh, that's a cool shot of downtown San Diego in the background. Oh, yeah. Kanoki with the €5 donation. Appreciate you. $5 super chat. Just successfully finished my first VATSIM flight on the Fokker. Hey, that is awesome. My hands are still sweating, but your Fokker streams helped a lot. Go V1 Kanoki. Appreciate the support, man. Thanks for that $5 super chat. I'm glad you're enjoying the Fokker. It is a hell of an airplane. It really is. I am obsessed with that little Fokker. By any chance, do you know if it's better to book a commercial flight at the beginning or end? With Shiggity, I think it's all kind of... no one really knows, really. I've heard Tuesdays are the best day to book a flight, but if you're not checking a bag, check out skiplag.com. Airlines hate it, but there's nothing that's going to stop them. Skiplagged. Probably going to get banned for saying that on stream, but it is what it is. How tall are you? Am I? I'm 6'1". What size commercial aircraft do you think a 6'5" guy can comfortably pilot? Commercial aircraft, you can fit in all of them. I mean, at 6'5", it's going to be, well, let me rephrase that. It's going to be tighter in the Boeing, especially like a 7.3. Anything with a yoke is going to be tighter. If you go into any Airbus though, no problem at 6'5", man. Just put your seat way back. Nothing, it's Airbus way to go for 6'5". Spent a lot of time on a T-41 out of Holman, but now just fly sim with Black Square's A36. Heck yeah, bingo. Black Square's got some good stuff for sure. I got my PPO with a 150 and a 152, and they were more comfy than the Cherokee. How? I didn't know Pipers get better on Twiz. Yeah. 150 and 152. 150s were tight, man. 150s were real tight. The Cherokee is not pilot friendly, really. Oh yeah, still need to import the winds. Thanks, Chaos. We'll go here. We'll go init. We'll go wind. No. Where do I go? How do you do this again? Init. Winds and temps. Wind request. Oh, I think ours just says winds. Yours says winds and temps. Fancy, fancy. Alright, winds are in, Chaos. So now we're just waiting on 0 fuel weight and 0 fuel weight CG. Let's go ahead and start the APU bleed up, shall we? Because it is toasty back here. Hear the pack spool up. Love it, just like we heard yesterday. Oh yeah, now we got some airflow. I wish when I turn the packs on in the airplane that my office would cool down. That would be the ultimate realism level. The best day to book is on Sundays, Thrustmaster? Interesting. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I booked a ticket. Although I'm trying to book, I've got a sweet LA trip next month. One leg to LA, like 25 hours in Long Beach, and then one leg back. I'm trying to get my wife to go with me, but we need someone to watch the kids, and her mom doesn't want to do it. That's a whole different story. But man, I'm really hoping I can get my wife on that trip. I'll book her a ticket. I love our Long Beach layover. Stayed at a nice hotel. If you're a member, you've probably seen some shorts. I think any food shorts, any food that's made it into my shorts videos will probably come from my Long Beach layover. Already tired of the Tolus? Not tired of a Crimson Ghost. We're just mixing it up. I want to see, we're flying back on the route that we flew yesterday because that ortho, no lie, the ortho yesterday, Fork Boy and Orbix ortho looked pretty good in X-Plane 12. They look pretty good. So I want to take it back in the Microsoft default ortho and see how it shakes out. Doing performance, what minimum takeoff margin you can accept? Hey, as long as you're not in the negative, Clara, we're good to go. Just send it. If you don't have any margin, then we got to look at some numbers. But as far as you're talking about like minimum takeoff margin for accelerate, stop, and all that, as long as you're in the green, we're going. Flying any Hawaii Neo trips? Hawaiian ops? No, not as of late. That'd be a long, that's a lot of time zones for an East Coast based crew. I see Southwest flying into Long Beach all the time. I live near the airport. Oh yeah, Long Beach is a good one. Felipe, I just moved to Georgia. So I'm a Texan. I love Texas. I moved back to Texas. But just moved to Georgia, what, 2 months ago? 3 months ago? I see South, oh, there. Almost done here, almost done. Just crossed 1,200 total times. Should I start applying for airlines? Yes. Pilot SB, especially if you're here in the U.S. Get those apps out, get them squared away, because a lot of the apps, too, depending on who you're applying to, are going to have their own, time and logbook digitally that you need to upload. And so get all your time squared away, get everything on the apps now, and then just update it as you build time. Plus, the airlines will track that when you're applying. They say, oh, this guy updated his app 5 times, or this guy updated his app 10 times, So that shows the airline that you're serious about getting hired. Which clouds you like better, X-Plane 12 or Microsoft? Well, we haven't really seen any clouds right now. The clouds yesterday, I mean, the X-Plane 12 clouds are pretty good. I think there's strengths and weaknesses in both clouds on both sims. I think there are definitely some times in Microsoft where the clouds are a little bit not defined enough. Same with X-Plane, but it's at different times. I don't know. Neither of them are perfect. I'd hope we get to see some clouds today. I don't think we will, though. I think it's pretty much clear sailing for this flight. Might hit 100 degrees next Friday in Hotlanta. Mr. Martini, no worries, man. It's been like 120 at our old house in Texas right now. It's like 115 or 110. This whole week I was just looking at the weather. So let me look, at our old house. This entire week it's over 100, with it being 105 for 3 days in a row. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 105. 102, 103, 102, 101. So this Georgia summer I keep waiting for it to get hot. It hasn't been hot yet. Kimo, do you think airlines are going to be hiring 3 to 4 years from now on? I just started my people on April, age 27. I hate engineering. Well, I think they're definitely still going to be hiring. It just depends on what the economy does. You never can forecast the economy. The best way to go about that is to just put your head down, get your training done. Because the sooner you finish, the better. You can't control the future. You can't control the economy. You can't control what the airlines are hiring. So put your head down, get your ratings out of the way, and apply when you got the time. All right, boarding completed. Let's go. Let's prepare for pushback and departure. I'm ready. I should be on 22.8. I am. I should have my radio on. I do. Do I have a... I do. It's muted though.
San Diego traffic, CSK 901, pushback 16 into the alley.
Why can't I transmit?
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Oh, that's why. San Diego traffic, Frontier Flight 357, getting ready to push off gate 24, San Diego. All right, they are ready for pushback. That's done. We'll come up here. External power is off. Let's go. Beacon on.
Departure checks completed. Bypass
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
141.7, 34.9. 13 minutes extra. Works for me. Speeds, we're doing flaps 1. 137. 138. 142. Flaps 1, no flex. I fixed my thrust reduction and acceleration altitude as well.
Once again, we'd like to welcome you on board. Your safety is our top priority.
Locking gear.
Where's Chaos? We need to get him to add a new trigger, good to close, or something like that. Because the flight attendant will come up and ask you for good to close, and you hand out the paperwork if you have paperwork. And then at that point, the flight attendant, the lead flight attendant will close cockpit door before they start all their stuff. We need to go... Oh, I didn't take the jet bridge off. Nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes.
Oh, they already took the jet bridge off. Gosh, I love this thing. All right, brakes release, clear to push.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wheel.
Hope there's no one behind us. There's no one behind us. We're going to start them up on the pushback, yeah?
This Airbus A320 is an emergency exit.
Let's go ahead and start them up. I'll be quiet. Enjoy the sounds.
Each door is equipped with an evacuation slide that can be detached from the aircraft and used as a raft. All
Turn it
exits
one.
are clearly marked with a sign overhead. If necessary, floor level lighting will illuminate the aisles, helping find the exit. Please take a moment now to locate your closest exit and remember it may be behind you. If there is a change in cabin pressure, floor oxygen mask will drop from overhead. Firmly pull the mask towards you to start to flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, pull the elastic bands around your head, and tighten the straps on both sides. Even though the bags are not inflated, oxygen will be flowing. Make sure to put your mask on first before helping others, and we'll let you know when it's no longer needed. We'll be passing through the cabin to make sure we are ready for departure. You can help us by making sure your seatbelt is fastened. Your seatbelt is over, your tray table is stowed, and all items are put away. If you have any questions about the safety features of this aircraft, please don't hesitate to ask.
That PTU is ripping.
We'll include these electronic cigarettes and never let any light, tampering, handling, or destroying smoke detectors and active pressure pits at all times and can result in a fine. For your convenience, this aircraft has 3 restrooms, one at the front of the cabin and 2 at the back, and each is equipped with an empty changing table.
I'm actually not sure why it's going so crazy. I'm trying to...
Set parking brakes.
Brakes are set, clear
Cockpits are
disconnect.
brown. We have a good
There's a good engine start on 1.
You
Let's
can
go ahead and turn
disconnect.
2. So it should crank off on this one. I'm not sure what was causing it to go so crazy there on that engine at 1 start.
San Diego traffic, Rocket U2, taxi 270 Bravo. San Diego.
The sound changes based on age. Shut up, Chaos. For real? For real? That's awesome. Some airplanes are different, that's for sure. I've heard the PTU go off on gear retraction. Positive rate, gear up, PTU goes on. Older airplanes can't hold their pressure as good as the new ones. So I'm not saying it's not realistic. It's just that's pretty crazy to see that. That is awesome. Boris has a million PT samples.
Unlocking gears.
He sure does.
You're coming up as E175 for me.
Fair enough.
Rocketeer. Man, look at the traffic in San Diego today.
I'm an MD-82, so hopefully that's what you see here.
ICSDRJ.
There's an Avail light.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
That deep growl at the start, I know, Andre. It's the best, isn't it? Isn't that the best? All right, we got 2 good starts. We're on time today. Look at this. APU's coming off. This doesn't work, but we'll turn it on anyway, on and auto. We'll go over here, and we'll go on over here. Lauren's going to get mad.
Takeoff.
Oh. Since we got some traffic here, why don't we just do our flight control checks right now? Flight controls, full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral, auto brakes max, takeoff config check. Everything else looks good. Cabin, we'll get those. And we're ready to go. San Diego traffic, Frontier Flight 357 taxi and 27 behind United. San Diego. Brakes off, taxi light on. We're almost in the terminal. Probably need a profile for this airport. See, whenever I give GSX a compliment, they get screwed.
San Diego traffic, Control 495, taxi full source 27 via Charlie 1.
Alright, we can go ahead and clear that out. Flight control checks are done. Everything else is done. Don't need the chrono. Get off my screen. Get the terrain radar up. Don't need the dome light anymore. We'll go ahead and kill that. That looks good. APU is about to shut down. Don't mind this hill here. Love that subtle wing flex right there. Little frontier with CFMs. Ooh. Maybe this isn't the Latin VFR San Diego. You know it? This might be default San Diego because we got some serious terrain situations going on here. Worse off-roading all around here. Gunner, yeah, I can see your chat, man. Welcome. Just busy part of the stream here where I have to actually watch what I'm doing somewhat. Got to get the view right, so I'll probably want to do this here for the gear up. All right, what do we got today? We have 369 people tuning in. We're 131 likes, so same as yesterday. If y'all hit 250 likes before we take off, we will do a Toga takeoff from external view. 250 likes before takeoff, and we will do external view yogas. If we don't, same as yesterday, be super lame. We'll just do it from cockpit view, and we'll just be like everybody else. So smash down that like button if you want to hear these engines go up to Toga from the external view, which I don't know if we've done fly-by-wire external Toga in a little bit. So 250 on that like button. Smash it down for me. Steven says, nope, Latin VFR notoriously sucks at terrain. Okay, good. So not just me.
Rocket 218 lining up from 276.
Godspeed.
Thank you.
At least today we're closer in the cockpit than in the 321. That is true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, 321 at full Togas. I mean, you can still hear it, definitely. The IE 321 at Toga, you can still definitely hear it from up front. Just because it's got so much thrust. But it's much quieter. Much quieter. 319 IAE's Toga thrust is almost deafening. Like, it is really loud. Like, whenever you roll out and whenever tower gets in a bad habit of saying, hey, exit here or whatever, and you're still doing 100 knots with the reversers out, in a 319, you can't hear them. It's just, there's no way. How long does it take you to warm up before takeoff power? Same for CEO. No, they're different. 5 minutes on the Neos. Well, let me take that back. It depends on how long they've been sitting, Ethan. So, oh, look at this Fokker going on. It depends on how long the airplane has been sitting. Whether it's been overnight or greater than like 4 hours. That was a nice takeoff for the Fokker. That is awesome. 5 minutes though is your 5 minutes for the Neos. 3 minutes for the CEOs if they're warm. I remember doing push-ups at boot camp San Diego, one for every departure. Nice, Skyworker. Thanks for your service, man. Let's get the 250 likes. What are we at? 228. Wow. All right. I guess y'all just want to be like everyone else. We'll just do it from up front. That's fine. If you don't like me, you don't have to smash down the like button. It's fine. Gustavo says 321. You feel the low frequency bass engines on a 319. You can't hear anything before getting tinnitus firing or deaf. That's very true, Gustavo. Yeah, the tinnitus is strong in a 319, my friend. Tinnitus is strong. Luckily, I'm in a Neo tomorrow, so nice. I say nice, relaxing day. But three-legger, why do I do this to myself? I just like, you know, Detroit and back, short. This is a three-legger. East Coast Triangle. Ugh. Danny Rubel, maybe I have both installed. That is a possibility. Was there a default San Diego? Because if there is, then I might have both installed. That's the corporate ramp over there. I don't like how that tail, that windsock is showing a tail in. When do I fly to Tampa? Next month I don't have some Tampa. $237. You lose seniority when you change bases. You can lose it or gain it. It just depends on your relative seniority. But yes, seniority in a base is a thing. So you could be more senior in one base than another base. It's typically in junior bases and senior bases. Any update on the Fokker throttle? Paul, let me look right now while we're waiting for departure. It said shipping label created, but I'm kind of sketched out because it said that for a while. Let me look right now. Track package. It said expect delivery between the 22nd and 29th. It still says it's in pre-transit, shipped with USPS. On July 21st, it was pre-transit. So, I don't know. I'm starting to be a little sketched out for my Fokker throttles.
Alright, have
you thought about getting Latin VFR 319? No. Nope. Don't you curse at me, Chase. Michael Fisher, yeah, I don't know. It's Team Vodka's airplane, so go figure. Team Vodka's airplane is doing a gear dance up there in that PSA livery. Any good add-on weather for FS 2020? Default, Morrow. Stay away from any add-ons. You don't need any weather add-ons in Microsoft. Latin VFR also doesn't update their scenery much, which is so that windsock might still be bugged from the beginning of Microsoft. Oh, good deal.
Flight 2126, 342 climbing, final call.
Pratt & Whitney sounds so much better. Pratt & Whitney's 242 on the likes, 7 likes to go, and you can listen to these puppies from the external view at Toga Thrust. All right, there goes Team Vodka. Man, I love that American Heritage livery. That one's just so neat. Adios, man. I should have hit the pre-departure P because I think this coffee is starting to go through me. This is how real the sim is. I'm so in the real mode. It's like, oh man, now every time I get ready to line up on the runway, I feel like I have to go pee if I didn't already at the gate. That's what we call it, the PDP. 261 on the likes. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you. Get some positive rates for yourself. Pat yourselves on the back here. Oops, that's a fake pilot emoji. There we go. There's some positive rates. And we will do external mode takeoff. I don't know. Maybe we'll go in front of that 330 over there. Oh, this ought to be good though, because I haven't done an external. I don't think we've done external fly-by-wire. PDP, check. Yeah, it could stand for pre-departure P or pre-departure poop, depending on what phase of flight you are. What do you guys think of that United livery? I can't tell. I just feel like it could have been so much better. I don't dislike it. I just feel like it could have been better. San Diego traffic, Frontier Flight 357, line up, runway 27, San Diego. Let's go. Brakes release, we're going to line it up. Who's calling me? Potential spam. There we go, line up and wait, let's go. We're pretty heavy. What is our gross weight? Man. 155. Whoa, nice. So let's go ahead and try to use a little bit more runway than rolling on the whole threshold here. Now those power lines aren't there. That's just my We Love VFR pack. Oh yeah, nice stutters there. Always get that in Microsoft when I'm doing these hard turns on the ground. Oh yeah, look at that lineup. Look at that lineup. Almost perfect. Almost. Actually, it is perfect because the center line lights are right on the center, so I want to be one tire width off of the center line lights, the turtles. All right, that guy is going out there right there. We'll go till 5 miles in trail, and then we'll blast off. So get those yogas in chats. Get those yogas in chat. We're gonna light them up here. We are all on. Strobes run. You've been advised. I've been advised. Let's advise ATC and get out of here. San Diego traffic, Frontier Flight 357, departing runway 27, San Diego. All right, you asked for it. Well, you didn't ask for it. I asked for it. You delivered. Nose forward on the stick. Spool them up 50. Here we go. There they go. Man, Toga, SRS nav, auto thrust blue. Man, they're much better with packs off. Well, we're way through 100 knots, 80 knots, 100 knots, we're all checked. V1, rotate. Oh, nice and smooth, feels very good. Positive rate, gear up, navin, fly with. Listen to them working though. Listen to those engines right there in front. I feel like we're going to throw a fan blade just by listening to that. Where's my high vibe checklist? All right, thrust reduction from window view. Why are we going to go around track? Why are we, oh. My man Toga messed around here, so let's do this. Thrust reduction from window view. It's because it's doing a thing. Thrust climb, open climb. Why are we gonna go around track? That might mess things up. Nav. Alright, we're back on it. Don't tell me that cycled everything. No, we're good. So I gotta have to recalibrate that because you saw it flashing there. It was flashing Toga. So maybe that made it think it was in go-around mode. Here comes S-speed. We'll go flap 0. There's some nice ships off the coast there. Those clouds look real nice. Those clouds look real nice. About 10 degrees of pitch should be what you're going for here. 10 degrees, climb thrust, 250 knots. I don't know why our speed is, do we have a speed restriction? We're going to go 250. I think we might have confused a little bit there with the go around track. But right now we're all right. Thrust climb, open climb, we're navin'. We're in the turn, we're accelerating at 250k knots. Goodbye, San Diego. Little marine layer there, sitting in over the bay. Yeah, Flame, that's what it was. The man Toga flickering on the takeoff roll, that's exactly what it was. I gotta probably do a recalibrate. It's probably about time. The water doesn't look all that hot. That sure does. Let me come down here. 99. Alright, good. So out of 10, we should be just fine. Below 23, above 6, we're there. Oh, that was a speed restriction, 230 at zoo. We're going to go ahead and ignore that. I do like being able to pop out the screen so easily in X-Plane 12, so you can pretty much fly it from the wing view if you want to. I know you can do it by holding Alt here, but it doesn't work in OBS that way. You gotta set up a new capture window. Throttletek says thank you for whoever gifted me this sub. Good deal, man. Hey, we're the greenest airline and the greenest YouTube right now. Alright, there's 10K. Let's go ahead and manage it up. Alright, now our box. Oh, it's because it's got that speed restriction still. We'll keep going. We'll go turn you off, turn you off, turn you off. It's a nice smooth departure here. As soon as we pass the zoo, we'll accelerate. Oh, wow, that looks good down there. How much aggravation is it to now use the bathroom mid-flight? It's not too much aggravation. When you gotta go, man. Go ahead and accelerate. We'll lower that nose. Typical weather I'd expect here, San Diego in the morning. Just buttery smooth, no convective activity yet. Turn down the airplane a little bit. Alright, I think we're above most terrain. We'll go ahead and turn the terrain button off. You can see our traffic out there. Just about 15 miles or so in front of us. Looks good though. Greetings, Robert. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Is your fleet affected by the latest issue with Pratt engines? I'm sure they are. You do not need additives. The juice is right out of the box. That's funny, Merlin. I am curious to see what it's going to look like when we get up to cruise and we go right over, what was it, St. John's? Because that Fork Boy Ortho was pretty darn good, man. That Fork Boy was pretty good. I mean, that's pretty good too, and that's straight out of the juice box, as Merlin says. Matter of fact, it's so juicy. Let's just go autopilot 1. We've got nothing to do here for a little while anyway. We'll go full screen, and let's just take a look at the juice out there. Unpasteurized, straight out of the cart. Can you explain the differences between a VOR and NDB? Yes, VORs have radials, individual radials. NDBs have bearings. So there's a bearing that you track, but you don't know, you cannot tell how far off course you are from a bearing other than other bearings. VORs, you can be, let's say I'm on a 290 radial and I'm 3 miles off of the 290 radial. It's split up, it's more precise. An NDB is just a signal, whereas a VOR sends out 360-degree signals known as radials or radians. Radials? Engines are definitely buzzing now, Chaos. Yeah, you can hear them buzzing. I mean, those clouds out there look pretty good. That's pretty true to real life. That Latin VFR airport, though, is meh. Kind of looks a little whack from up here, too. Motor Glider Captain, appreciate you, man. Thanks for that. Appreciate you. Those mountains look pretty good down there. Look at all these houses nestled up in these hills here. Man, oh man. NDB is AM radio. What's a bearing? A bearing is a degree. Oh man, how do I explain a bearing? A bearing is a numerical value of your relative position on 360 degrees to or from the station. Yeah. I like Gustavo's. It just points to where the radio station is, correct. All right, we're at 18,000 feet. We're set standard. We're climbing pretty good now. Much better performance, even though we're heavy. 17, almost 2,000 feet a minute here at 290 knots. 320 getting it done, man. 320 is getting it done. 320 Neo for sure. I like this view right right there. That right there, though, that shot, this, if only we had, like, if you have the Fenix wing textures and the wing model and the cartage of wool pylons and engines, this window, I want to take this window with me. I want to put this window in my tailless airplane. Bearing is the reverse of a track. I guess, not wrong. But I am going to have to, we are going to have to use the lav on this one. We got 400 something miles to go still. I use AIG, Nick. AIG model matching. Can you pop other screens, FlyByWire, or left alt and click? I can, but then watch what happens to my OBS. Watch this. Actually, it doesn't work. I left alt and clicked and it didn't work. But normally what happens is OBS will go black. It'll just give you a black screen of death because it's like, oh, you have a new window open. So I would have to then set up a new capture window for every single screen, and then I'd have to shape that capture window somewhere on the screen and put those above my main capture window of Microsoft. It's right off, by the way. Let's try that. Yep, see, there you go. You want me to fly around like that? I think since Lauren wants us, oh no, Pascal Hans wants us to fly the whole flight like this. I think we should do this. This is good. So you can see here, we've got our attitude indicator. We're about 4.5 degrees nose up, 700 feet a minute. I'm just messing. I'm not the smartest of smarts when it comes to YouTube streaming, but I do know a few things. Is this the new stable update? What do you mean? Nick, no, this is the development version, I believe is what they're calling it now, because they got rid of the experimental, so FlyByWire has 2 versions. One is stable, one is not. I am on the one that is not, and I updated it just before the stream, so should be latest and greatest. Have you taken a look at the A2A Comanche 250? I have 49 Whiskey, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal piece of machinery from A2A, which, yeah, if y'all are familiar with A2A in the past, they are, raised the bar, kept the same bar. I mean, they are a high quality developer. What lovely scenery with that PFD. Dev version is pretty stable. Good deal, Chaos. I hope so. I'm knocking on wood. I blame you if something happens on this flight. Ooh, we're getting a little bit of light chop. A little bit of wing flex. I mean, so my initial impressions. Well, see, we had a lot of clouds yesterday when we flew into California. So we'll have to see how the ortho looks over St. John's. At that area is really we're going to really know once we get into the high desert. When hot start CL60. Never, probably. I've been an aviation fan since a kid, but I will not fly. Really? Nothing to worry about, Larry Harris. The most dangerous part of flying is getting to the airport. Now this is going to look phenomenal right here. Some high desert action. And remember, this is real-time, real weather, and it's the worst part of the day to fly the sim. We should do is maybe we should do sunset into Salt Lake since we did sunset into San Diego. We'll do sunset into Salt Lake. Have you heard about the add-on to make weather radar operational for this plane? No, I have not, Brian. That's interesting. Did my first proper flight in the F-28 a couple days ago. Absolutely loving it. Jeff, that is awesome, man. Yeah, Jeff, I love the Fokker so much. I ended up spending, like $100 from Sim Deck on Etsy or whatever his name is for Fokker throttles. I'm going to convert my whole Bravo to a Fokker. St. George, what did I say? St. John's? St. George. One of the saints. Somewhere over there. I'm going to wait for the A2A's doing an Aerostar? For real? Crimson Ghost, are they really doing an Aerostar? Isn't that what Tom Cruise had in American Made? It was an Aerostar? Oh, that was a... I can't remember what it was. I thought it was an Aerostar. Sunset will stop you from leaving the sim again. True. true chaos. So yesterday I said I came into the office about 2 hours early to set up my X-Plane 12. I had to do ortho download, had to do ortho move over, had to get some sceneries installed, had to redo the INI file, get the configuration file laid out, had to get Active Sky installed, how to get that working and syncing properly. And I barely made the stream on time. This stream, I came here 1 hour prior because I was a little early, got out of the gym early, and for the last 30 minutes, I was just twiddling my thumbs, like, well, I don't know what to do. I literally started up the sim, or updated the fly-by-wire, started up the sim, loaded into San Diego, and I just was waiting for the stream to start. That's crucial for content creation. I know everything's going to work. There's no INI files I need to edit. There's no new weather I need to update my Active Sky or anything like that. San Diego. So why is there turbulence over the mountains? Could be multiple reasons, Jeremy, but the most common is most common would be mountain wave turbulence. You get that especially going out over the Rockies. So you have low-level jet stream and low-level winds that will use the mountains very much like a ramp, to put it simply. So you have this wind that ramps up over the mountains, and that creates almost a wake effect, right? So that wave will continue to form and go up into the jet stream. And what's interesting about a mountain wave is doesn't necessarily have to be right over the top of the mountain. You can feel a mountain wave, several, I don't know, maybe a couple of 100 miles at least from the actual front range or back range, wherever you're coming from. So mountain wave turbulence is a definite real thing, especially when you start flying over the Rockies. That's where you see the most of it, at least in the U.S. Down south, it's everywhere. And another reason why there's turbulence over mountains is you have uneven heating of the Earth's surface. So heat goes up. If mountains are higher than the area or the ground around them, that convective activity is going to reach higher quicker, thus creating disturbances easier and higher up. If that makes sense. That's kind of a real crude, rudimentary way to explain it. But there's not always turbulence over the mountains, but it is a very, very likely area to get turbulence. And all weather is based on uneven heating of the Earth's surface. So keep that in mind. Then you combine that with jet stream winds and mountain waves. That's pretty much our whole weather environment. Have I flown to El Paso? I have. Got my commercial check ride in a few weeks for Motor Glider. I fly a Pipistrel Alpha trainer. I'm a big X-plane and Microsoft user Pilot Edge 15 rated and VATSIM user around. Motor Glide Captain, that's awesome, man. Well, you can practice your commercial check ride on Pilot Edge. It's going to be sweet. Is there really now option when you have multiple liveries from the same airline installed that you can see what exact registration you pick when being in the menu to spawn it? Danny, I think so. Oh, you mean like the actual tail number? I don't know. I think it has to be in the title still, right? Nick, exclamation point wing view. Jeremy, yes, in a roundabout sense that's a correct way. The mountains will direct warm air up. Thoughts of the El Paso airport? Well, I've diverted. So let's see. The only times I've been to El Paso airport was an emergency diversion. Had an electrical emergency in the Airbus. We diverted to El Paso. I was ferrying a Cessna 172 across the country, across the United States, and I stopped in El Paso for a fuel stop. It was a rather pleasant experience, actually. But there's really nothing wrong with El Paso airport. It's a nice little airport there in South Texas. Would I want to hang out there after dark? Nope. But I don't have any real gripes with El Paso. I don't have any real pleasantries either. Have you seen any lenticular clouds in a sim? Swarm? It's a great question. I don't know. I almost want to say that we have in Microsoft before, but I don't know for a fact. That's a great question. All right, max is 38. We filed 37. We're cruising. Let's just go to 37. We can make it. 37 is still blue. 33 for 37. this Neo, you know, in real life, well, yeah, 1,000 feet a minute here. So what I've found in the Neos, is that the Salton Sea over there? I think it is. In the Neos, you get a lot of low-level performance, equal to, if not greater than, the CEOs. Got that big N1 fan blade, a lot of bypass air. Once you get up to altitude, your thrust is generally produced from the hot section or the turbine section of your engine. So the Neos, since they have a ton of bypass air and a smaller hot section, they don't perform as well once you get up into high altitudes. So they can be a little bit of a dog when you get up into the high 30s, mid to high 30s, especially at higher weights. The CEOs, IE specifically, I mean, they're pretty, you get up to altitude and it's a pretty consistent performance degradation as you climb. Whereas in the Neo, I feel like it's a little bit more, you kind of tell like, oh man, we're really kind of dogging up here today. But that has to do with that bypass air in the hot section. In real life, how is it determined who is going to be pilot flying, pilot monitoring, or is it always captain flies? V1 Sim, hi, by the way. James, good to see you, man. Sometimes I play altitude golf. So what altitude golf is, if the first officer doesn't want to take the first leg, I tend to ask, let me start from the beginning. I have to know the employee number of the first officer. If he's a new hire, then the next thought is, what's the weather like? I want him landing where there's calm winds and no weather. That's step one. If he's not a new hire, I'll ask him if I'm going somewhere where I don't really, I don't have any, don't want to land anywhere in particular. I will typically ask the first officer if they want to take the first leg, because when I was a first officer, and it still kind of is this way, I think, generally speaking, the captain will take the first leg. So a lot of times, especially if you're doing turns out and back, you're always landing at your base if you're doing turn flying. It just seems to work out that way. So when I upgraded, I always told myself, like, I'm going to ask them first off if they want to take the first leg. Go fly somewhere new. Because I remember, even when I was a senior FO, I told y'all I did mostly just Dallas, Cancun turns. That was my flight. I just loved doing Dallas, Cancun, Dallas, Minneapolis, doing turns. And 90% of the time, I was always landing back in DFW. So I wanted to, when I upgraded, be like, all right, let the first officer choose. But if they don't have a preference and I don't have a preference, then we just play altitude golf. And what that is we say, okay, closest to 10,000. And then I give it a spin, try to get it to 10. And then whoever's closest to 10,000 or 3,000, whatever the altitude is you call out, that's who takes the first leg. Or some guys will go down here, they'll go to the condition page. Nope. What am I looking for, Gustavo? Where's the one that tells you about the PAT controller? I thought it was... Oh yeah, pressurization. System 2. So if no one knows and they don't want to play altitude golf because they're being super lame, or it's 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll just look here. Oh, it's on System 2. You're flying today. You can take us out. If it's on System 1, I'll fly it. So those are multiple ways. That is a really drawn out 1,000 feet to go. That's a really drawn out answer to a really simple question. Flying into Jax soon, getting more mainline and Jax now. Hawaiian Ops, I don't see it on the schedule for me. Next month I have a really sweet schedule though. It's pretty light though. I don't do any Jax. I try to stay away from Florida in the summer. I'm so tired of getting beat up this summer. This summer's been rough, man. This summer I feel like I've had more holds and more weather deviations than in a while. Let me look at my schedule here. What am I doing next month? I do have Fort Myers. I love Fort Myers. Oh, I have a Liquordale as well. Boston, LA, which I told you all about that one, and then just a day trip. So yeah, I only have 3 overnights next month. 3 overnights, that's it. Boston, Lauderdale, LA. Team Vodka, yeah, try 410, why not? Have you ever flown with a very experienced FO who was captain? Oh yes, Jeremy. All the time, man. All the time. I've flown with FOs that are senior to me at the same airline. So they could be senior to me if they upgraded, but they like their quality of life. They like being at the top of the list on the right seat. If they go to the left side, they won't be at the top of the list. So, or they just have other things going on and they don't want to deal with all the other things that come with being in the left seat. But yeah, all different walks of life. All different walks of life. All right, we leveled off here. We're out cruise. It is nice and smooth. We're going to go seatbelt sign off. I'm going to give y'all control for 1 second here because I am going to go hit the lab. It's only just going to be 2 minutes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again from the Flightbox Captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As we begin to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your seat elbows clear from the aisle as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley carts shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating with the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Have you ever flown with an FO I really didn't like much? Yes. That was a real fake pilot there, tooting in. All right, you have control in the jump seat. I'll be right back. This is going to be 2 minutes. Nothing like taking a lab break with 300 viewers. All right, let's make sure everything is looking good up here. We'll do a quick systems check, and then we are going to hop outside. We're going to do some new ortho. Not new ortho, but we're going to take a look at our ortho, make sure everything is looking fantastical. That all looks good there. All right. Let's hop to the outside view. Let me turn this down a little bit. Oh, boy. So we were rocking the tail down view, right? That's what we were doing? Look out this window since we were looking out the other window. Actually, you know what would be better if I do drone cam. Yes, and we're going to turn it down a little bit more. Right about there. And we're going to enjoy some ortho here. We're going to see. We're going to kind of look. I'm actually going to look back at my old stream yesterday too and see kind of a comparison. Because, like I said, you can make your ortho sharper than Microsoft. For sure. Hold on, I got to do tactical flip-flop secure it. We don't roll back here. Oh, man. Oh, I'm stuck. All right. Tactical flip-flop check is accomplished. Ward the Beaver. Big Ralph, a lot of people say that sounds like me in the fly-by-wire on that announcement. So after the stream yesterday, which airplane has better engine sounds? Well, Jeremy, believe it or not, the airplane yesterday had better engine sounds. You know why? Because it was a Pratt & Whitney. Pratt & Whitney is superior to CFM LEAPs, but that's a personal opinion. As far as everything else, though, it's really, really good. That startup sound is so dang good. If you put forth 320, CFM, IE, Neo, Pratt & Whitney, LEAP, whoever reaches altitude first, all climb at the same time, I assume at the same weight. What? IE will not get there last, Gustavo? No. Probably, I would say the Neos will probably get to the cruise. That's a great question, Super. I'd like to see it because it wouldn't be linear. I think the Neos would get up to altitude first, they'd get ahead of the CEOs, but then the CEOs would overtake. Well, I wouldn't know if they'd overtake. The CEOs would probably close the gap at high altitude. And then, I don't know. That's a great question. I would love to see that. Then we could settle the debate once and for all. I feel like we're turning. Are we turning here? What's going on? Damn, that looks pretty good though. High desert. Sure. Kind of low desert. We're not really high desert yet. XP had to do 3 go-rounds. So James, I know, I was watching it, man. I was like, my wife was getting mad at me because I was supposed to go put the girls to bed. I was like, all right, just after XP lands. And then he went around. And then I was like, all right, he's going to land soon. And then went around again. I'm like, oh my God, I got to go. So I went and put him to bed, and then I went and put the girls down, and then he was still doing his 3rd attempt when I came back. It was a good stream, good stream. I don't know, Gustavo. CFMs are weak, man. CFMs are weak. We'll see. I'm gonna ask Airbus to do a test. I'm gonna have Airbus do a test for me. I'm surprised there's not one already out there. There probably is. Are you allowed to drink alcohol as an airline pilot? Not when you're flying, no. We need Pratts? Yes, we need Pratts for the fly-by-wire for sure. I would love to see some Pratts in the fly-by-wire. Afternoon camp, thanks for the work interruption. Anthony Teal, well, my pleasure. Welcome on board. Hopefully we'll have a nice work interruption for you as we fly our way to Salt Lake City. Lower fan diameter, lower thermal range. I don't know. That sounds to me like it's just weak. It just sounds to me like it's less cool. I want larger fan, higher thermal range, more noise, more fuel. Dougal, yes. Pratt had the weak recall, yes. Well, the Neos will be first if they're allowed to suck the same amount of fuel. Well, yeah, they're not, exactly. Have I ever been to Oshkosh? No, I have not ever been to Oshkosh. I'm going to just go back in the regular, like, hold on. Oh, no, now my views are all messed up. There we go. Felt like we were tilting. I started turning my head. And more whale noises. Yeah, more whale noises. I noticed the Neos have the green ring on the inside of the engine. What is that? That's acoustic sounding, Jeremy. It's acoustic sounding. The IE has 64, but the CFM has 68.3 fans? Or 68 fans? So, 68? Interesting. I actually didn't know that the CFM had more fan blades than the IE. That's interesting. I almost took this week off, just to drive out to Oshkosh and camp out. Yeah, you're close to it up there, AJ. You're close to it up there, aren't you, AJ? For me, it'd be quite a drive. All right, high desert. What are we thinking? It looks pretty good, but I don't know. That fork boy was pretty darn good, too. We'll see. We'll see. The CFM will have higher fuel burn, so the IE goes a little longer. Well, I'm all about going a little longer, Gustavo, so maybe that's why I like the IEs. V1, have you ever in real life done what that one captain did where your PAX announcement over the radio? Done a PA over the radio? I don't think I have. I've watched a captain do it in our airplane. I don't think I've done a PA over the radio though. In the Airbus, it's much harder to do in the Airbus, I think, than anything else. Yeah, in the Embraer, you can easily do it. I think in the Boeing, you can probably easily do it. In the Airbus, though, the way I've used the radio, it's pretty hard because I only make PAs with the handset, the actual handset, the little phone on the back of the pedestal. So if I'm not holding that, I'm probably not going to make a PA. Like, I'm not just going to key the mic and do a PA over the mic like I'm talking to ATC because it's a completely different part of the cockpit. I'm either using the handheld microphone for ATC or I'm using my headset for ATC. neither of which I use for making a PA, unless I just do a simple one like flight attendants take your seats, or we're just short of the gate, folks. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. Thank you. You know, one of those. Then I'll just do the regular radio PA. IEs charge more for maintenance as well. Well, Rolls-Royce managing maintenance, yeah. Gustavo, I could definitely see that for sure. I could see that. Can you hear yourself when making a PA if the door's open? 49 Whiskey, like when I'm gonna do the, for some reason the 319s, I feel like I can hear well, that would make sense. Well, no, not really. The 319s, I can really hear myself make a PA with the door open. Sometimes the 320s, 321s, I don't really hear myself. But for some reason, the old 319s sound comes through the cockpit a little cleaner. I don't know why that is. Do you see the YouTube link I sent in Discord? We're in GSX with Phoenix. Ronald James, I did see that. What's that? Phoenix to GSX? I did see Phoenix to GSX. It just looks like a lot of work. Looks like a lot of work, man. I'll probably have to set it up, because that would be cool having GSX working with the Phoenix. But I'm all about not doing setups, you know? I just want to get in, start the flight, and just have it work. What did Nick say about my coffee? Is the coffee machine better in the Neo than the CEO? Nick, I would probably go with Neo coffee machines if you have to. Like if you need coffee or you're gonna die, take it out of a Neo airplane because it's probably newer. But you still might die. So I don't know. I don't touch the coffee on airplanes. I just don't do it. How do you assign your trigger on your stick to do a PA? To do a PA on the stick, you would have to go over here. No, you wouldn't be. I don't think you can use the stick, actually. Jeremy, now let me look at this one that's in the sun. So, well, now that's backwards because I haven't looked at that panel in forever. All right. So, PA, if I make a short one at the gate, like, hey, we're just short of the gate, please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened, I'll press down right here, and then I can talk straight through my headset. If I wanted to use my side stick to make a PA, I would have to... I don't know if you can. Because this talks to the cabin crew. I don't think that you can. Well, now I'm confused. Gustavo, can you make a PA with the side stick? I know I can talk to the cabin crew through here, but you can't select this. I can press and hold this down. Yeah, I don't know. But I always use for 99% of the comms for the cabin crew right here. But yeah, now I'm curious. And this radio panel, I don't think I can use the side stick push to talk to the cabin or to talk to the passengers. I know I can talk to the cabin. That's easy. You press this one down right here, and you're talking to the cabin crew.
Copy that.
I don't know what they're doing over there.
You can follow me.
I will follow you to one left, last
Yeah, well, figure traffic front trip like 2126, turning face for runway 26 left.
All right, now we are approaching high desert. Do you know why certain RNAVs say RNP required underneath the notes? Yes. I did a 2-part series, Kyle, about RNAV and RNP. Check it out on my channel. One of them is like right when you go to the channel, you'll see RNAV versus RNP. RNP is a onboard monitoring system that you will need to fly a true RNP approach. Yes, Jeremy, pressing the PA is how you do a short PA. Yeah, that's how I do a short PA with the headset on. Rad switch, that's intercom or radio. So if you flip it in intercom, You have intercom between you and your co-pilot and anybody who's your hot mic, and you can hot mic to the ground crew, which highly recommended that you make sure your intercom is off when the ground crew's hooked up, especially if you're talking smack to the ground about the ground crew, which you shouldn't be anyway because they're out there busting their butt. So for the most part, sometimes depends on where you are. Rad is another way to key the microphone. So I could, instead of using the push to talk, I've had push to talks MEL'd on the side stick. So the other way to communicate with ATC would then be to use the radio switch on that panel there. So, and that one is spring loaded. So intercom, it can stay in intercom. You can put it in neutral. No, I'll just show you. Jeez. I can go, oh, it doesn't move. I can move it to intercom and it will stay there. I can move it to neutral, it'll stay there. And rad, if I put it down to rad, I can now transmit to the radio. But as soon as I let go, it springs back to neutral. So this is just another way. This is when your side stick is in op, or your, not your side stick, but your push to talk on the side stick is in op, you have to make sure this is working right here. So that's how you do that. Oh yeah, here we go. High desert, man. Oh damn, that looks good. Where's the, I wish I had an engine or a window view. That looks pretty good. Oh man, Microsoft, that's looking pretty good right there. A full implementation of the radio panel is currently in testing. Interesting. The rad button is the Boeing button. I remember seeing those guys like using coffee stir sticks and everything to try to hold it in intercom. How do you set up the audio panel so you can use the mic in your mask? You mean in the oxygen mask? We're not going to get into that one, because that could be construed as need to know basis. But that's the first step, crew communication. So oxygen mask on, crew communication established. With full manual tuning implemented. Real chaos. Interesting. I wonder what happened to the Southwest pilots a few years back that transmitted smack over ATC. I think they got a good smacking. Which time, though? 49 Whiskey. Which time? Rubber bands and paper clips on a 737 NG. Yes. I remember the first time I ever saw that. I was jump seating as a little regional FO jump seating to Philadelphia. I was in a 737 and this dude had like booby trapped the intercom switch or into rad. I don't know. There was a coffee stir stick, some rubber bands, and it was basically holding this switch in position so that they could communicate with their headsets and not yell at each other. That, my friends, is a Boeing for you. Would you ever move to Boeing if you got the chance? No. Negative, Ghost Rider. If I move to a Boeing, it would have to be because my quality of life is going to greatly improve. Then I would do it. But if my quality of life is not greatly improving, then there's no reason to go to a Boeing. Have I ever gotten into an argument with ATC? No. I've gotten into an argument with another pilot before. Not really an argument. Not really an argument, though. It was just we had a few snarky comments. But with ATC argument, not really. I don't think so. There's really no time for arguing with ATC on the radio. Pilot Edge. Pilot Edge, yes. Real air traffic control, no. I only know of one, but there may be more. They were talking about the flight attendants. Oh, yeah. That one was a long time ago, 49 Whiskey. That one was a long time ago. I think those pilots kept their jobs, if I'm not mistaken. If that would have happened in today's day and age, though, no, they probably would not be. I don't know. Did they keep their jobs? I thought they did. Or maybe they fired one of them. I don't know. The snarky comments. Well, there's been a few instances, but most recently we were going into Vegas. And there was a there was a guy on a 7.3. He's like, well, thanks for leaving us high. Yeah, no, he was giving ATC lip. It was like basically telling the air traffic control that he was high and fast and it was his fault. And someone else had keyed up and like, first time to Vegas or whatever, with someone else. And then he snapped back at the controller again. And I basically said, just fly your airplane, dude. Like, nobody can. Then he comes back on. He's like, well, I'm pilot monitoring. Like, oh, gee, thanks. So why do you, it's just, oh man, it makes me frustrated even thinking about the whole exchange. But there was 4 or 5 of us that just jumped on and told him to just go land. A heated disagreement. Can we hear a welcome aboard briefing? Yeah, one day when you get on my airplane, maybe. Just want to let you know I'm 67 years young and that I so much appreciate watching you during COVID after I was released from the hospital. McShiggity. Man, that's good to know. That's good to know when you got released from COVID, got out of the hospital. Good deal. Yeah, COVID was a very interesting time. Very interesting time for not only real world flying, but for streaming and YouTube and the channel and the growth of the channel. But it provided some unique opportunities to, I think I took 3 months paid leave on that. It's like, when is the next time I'm ever gonna have 3 months paid leave? I should have done 6. If they were landing 8 right in Vegas, ATC just has to leave you a bit high and fast for MVA. It's got a lot chop and drop. Yeah, Lauren, I don't remember. I can't remember the full stipulation, but I mean, we were all. And the funny thing is, so I was pilot monitoring too, right? And then we were getting high, and I told the FO, I was like, look, just you're gonna make me look like a real idiot if we have to go around on this. Because there I am talking smack to this other guy, and I'm like, hey, just don't be high, whatever you do, all right? Just be prepared. Let's go flaps 3. All right, good deal. But yeah. Anyway, that guy was a douche. Moving on. Well, I think you should keep every comment for when the headset is off. Yes. How long ago were you a regional pilot? Wow, 9 years ago? Really? What year is it? 2023? Ooh. Somewhere around there. I was just talking, speaking of regional pilot though, Aviation Blaze, so I have my flight kit from when we used to carry books, like the actual paper charts and everything. And I haven't opened it in probably a solid, I don't know, since the last time we used them, which might have been even longer because we switched to iPads while I was still at a regional, I think, right? Yeah, I think towards the end of my regional career, quote unquote, we went to EFBs. So it might have been even longer since I've opened my flight kit, and I might do a video on it. I want to open it up, do a video. I mean, who knows what's in it? It could just be full of spiders and cobwebs and ants and mold, and I hope there's no food in there. I think it'd be smelling. Well, I don't know. By now, it's probably all dried up. But Cal Ferris, good to see you. Flight's been good so far, man. We're doing a little ortho comp. Oh, man. Are we approaching St. John? I think we are. I should probably see where we are. Let's see. What's EHK on the map? Milford. No, McAllister. We're getting close. I think this is St. George, Utah. St. John, St. George. Gustavo says the worst shenanigans in Brazil was when an FO at a major had a private porn video leaked where he kept his socks on. Oh my gosh. Ops was hella socks joke for 2 years. Man, you would never leave that down. You would never live that down, Gustavo. That's crazy. That is crazy. Aviation Blaze, yeah, a time capsule. It really is. Do you have outlets in the flight deck to keep your iPad charged? Yes, we do. There are 4 of them. 3 of them? 3 of them, and then, yeah, there's 3 that we couldn't use. I think on the newer ones, on like the new Neos that are coming out, and this could be an airline thing, they were talking about having an iPad holder where when the iPad is in the socket, it's hardwired, and it's basically like touch charging. So it's always charging when it's in the device. So I think that would be cool. I don't know if that's coming on the new 321 Neos or what, but Thought I heard of that somewhere. All right, here we go. St. Jehovah Witness, George, Utah. Looks pretty dang good down there, guys. Yeah, definitely. That's it. That's the airport that we flew over. We said we're going to fly the Comanche down here. Now, honestly, I got to zoom in on it. You could run the argument that that X-plane looks better. Center Frontier Flight 357. Can I get a right deviation for scenery? Frontier Flight 357, roger. Right deviation approved for scenery looking. We're gonna fly right over because we came over a little bit on the more to this side when we flew yesterday. When you were flying freight, do you ever take Miss V1? No, I want her to survive, Nick. No, I did not take her with me. She used to pick me up though. She used to pick me up and drop me off. She used to pick me up at 11 at night and then drop me off at 2:45 in the morning. And work 9 to 5. And take care of our puppy. She's a trooper. Have I ever gotten nervous flying? Twice. Both in freight. One time I was in a CRJ, thought I was going to die going into DCA. That was the third time. We're going to come a little bit more right. We need more weather deviation here. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, that's the shot. That's the shot. I don't know. I was just saying it, Lumen Officer Father. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying you could argue. But I'm not saying it is. I feel like I need to pull up that stream and overlay it. Rip iPad batteries for being plugged in all the time. Kyle, that's how mine is right now. And the chargers that on the airplane, they're super high powered too. For some reason, like you plug into that thing, it just rips your iPad. It rips your battery. What do I rather do, flying passengers or packages? I like passengers, man. I did the whole boxes thing for a little bit. It's lonely, dude. Not lonely, but like, I like my terminals. I like my passengers. I like to see kids come up to the cockpit. I like going and grabbing coffee in the terminal area. You know, being on the cargo ramp, you're isolated. If you don't like the guy you're flying with, you're going to hate life. But you're going to be making a lot of money. Unless you're FedEx or UPS right now. Michael Fisher, no, I have not. I have flown into JFK, Ryan, I have. What are your thoughts on cadet programs and the 5-year float or legacy? Thug Duck, it's not a bad choice. But with the way things are hiring right now, if you can get your ratings and your time done on your own, the sooner the better. That's all I'll say. The sooner the better. The faster you can get your ratings and your hours in, the better. Because you can get, with applying, you can, with the way airlines are hiring right now, you can apply outside of a flow program and probably get picked up right away. But everyone's got their own set of circumstances, so it's not for everybody. Yes, cargo routing destroy your body with night runs, Gustavo. Yeah, so the average age for life benefits payout, like for guys that die flying freight, is 67 or 68, like 67 and a half, 68. So if you retire at 65, you've been flying freight your whole life, you got a whole 3 years before the average freight pilot kicks the bucket. So that is a real thing. All right, we need to figure out where we're going. Let's go direct to MILF. We're nabbing in the turn. I do love the Frontier green. Green and white, baby. Green and white looks so good. Is hiring slowing down? Not yet. Not yet. Lauren, yeah, they get cool and interesting overnights when they haven't slept for 6 days. My buddy flies 7-4 at Atlas and he loves it because that's just, he's a single dude and more power to him. But we were actually roommates when we had roommates in 121 Airlines, and we went to the same regional together. We actually went to the same flight school together. We instructed together. He was a former Navy Rescue swimmer. Rescue diver? Rescue swimmer? But yeah, he flies 7.4 for Atlas right now. Direct to MILF, yes. That's my kind of flight. I knew as soon as it came off the tongue, I was like, well, there's going to be some comments on that one. Money isn't everything. Correct, Chaos. Money is not everything. This song is vibing. So after this song, we're going to have to go to work because we're probably going to be high and fast. But we'll get her down. We'll let this song play out. Remember, if you retire, don't retire. Keep doing something, whether it's a part-time job or an active hobby like gardening or building something. Yes, Micah Messer, that is a great point. That is a great point. You got to stay busy. You got to stay busy. How much longer do you think hiring will be crazy like it is now? Ryan, it's going to taper off at some point for sure. But all the airlines are kind of staggered right now. If you just look at numbers alone, and let's just talk the three legacy carriers, Delta, American, United. If you look at the numbers alone, Delta's hired the most amount of pilots, and they have the least amount to retire left. United's kind of in the middle, and American has the most amount of retirements to come. So it's going to be going on for a couple more years, I think. But that's also dependent upon the economy. They've done it before. They'll do it again. They will hire. Airlines will hire until they furlough. So you will have hiring classes, and then the next day you'll wake up and you're on furlough. So you cannot predict it. You cannot predict the future. That's why I tell guys that if this is something you want to do, put your head down, get your hours, and get a seniority number, because that's the only thing you can control. The only thing you can control is how fast you get a seniority number at an airline. That's it. Just everything else is just noise. Put your head down, go to work. There's a retiree who works at the transit agency I work for. He just drives part-time because he loves driving buses and talking to people. Yeah, good deal. How about aircraft technicians? McShiggity aircraft techs are going to be around for a long time. Even I think they're even more secure than pilots for the most part, because you're always going to need technicians out there. All right, that song was pretty good. We're going to go ahead and start that one as well. Hold on, give me a second. We're going to go ahead and put that into playlist. Yeah. All right, let's get the sounds up. We need to figure out where we are and where we need to go here. All right, we are 40 miles from McAllister. Let's get some updated weather. I can't see. I don't care about Grand Junction. Don't care about San Diego. Just care about Salt Lake City. Let's go ahead and pull that weather in. Chaos, again, that's something you can't control, right? Being merged. Unfortunately, it's something that cannot be controlled. Thug, I just saw your comment up at the top. Instrument written and instrument instructor at the same time. I did. I think I took my no, I didn't take my ATP. Yeah, I did my instrument written and instrument instructor because it's the same test, I think, for the most part. I do remember doing those at the same time. That's it. What? There we go. Salt Lake will print you off. If APA would get its act together and put a 2-pilot requirement in whatever TA rolls out next, that could change. Matthew Presley, you definitely could. I don't think you're going to see that in passenger ops for a while, though. Single pilot operations. Once Amazon starts running single pilot freighters, then we can start thinking about worrying about it. But, for the time being, I don't think it's so much of an issue. All right, 180 at 16. We'll go ahead and throw this in here. We will land 16 right, so 180 at 16 K knots. Temperature is 34 degrees. Dang, that's hot for this altitude. It's like 5,000 feet, isn't it? QNH 3010. 16 right. Let's go over here to our iPod. Approaches. Let's go to pin charts because this EFB is way easier to manipulate. 16 right in front of my face. That's all I need. Love this EFB. Okay, 111.9, 164, 6,000 at bunker, 44.23 on the DA. 44.23, we'll throw that in there. That's going in. We will need the terrain on because it is mountainous areas. We'll put our LS push buttons on. We're going to go manual brakes, full reverse, full flaps. You've been briefed. I've been briefed. Any questions? Nope, sounds good. All right, let's look at some ortho. Man, I wish my briefings could be like that in the real airplane. Ooh, we're starting to get some clouds. Oh, okay, sunset or no? Sunset or no? Here we go. Let me put a poll up. Because we did a sunset approach. Did I spell that right? I think so. We did a sunset approach in X-Plane 12 into San Diego. So, yes or no, sunset for this one. Look at those clouds out there. Pretty darn good. I will let this go for... I'm going to let the poll run for 2 minutos. I am on the jammin', Tony Johns. I'm on the jammin' arrival. Do you ever wish you flew wide-body long-haul flights? Thug Duck? No. That's never been my goal. However, I was just talking... my last trip, I was talking to my FO. I walked by my last flight. I was walking to my nice little 320. Actually, no, it was a 319. Even shorter. I was walking to my 319. And I walked past an A350 going to Milan. I was like, that sounds a little bit better than Cleveland. But I also know it's not just... There's a lot of misconstrued glamour with long-haul wide-body flying that you don't really realize until you're there. So I had a moment of weakness, and I considered my life choices, but then I was back before lunchtime, and I was playing with my kids, so no. For me personally, no. But everybody's different. Oh no, Flight Dispatch, the Speedbird himself has joined the chat, y'all. Can we get some Speedbirds in chat? Speedbirds. Get some Speedbirds. The great illusion is that anything is safe or can be avoided. The economy impacts almost every sector, so just get on with it. Advice is very good. Yes, V2 plus 10, I agree. Any place is better than Cleveland. If you fly wide body, you get more days off. It depends. Yes and no. I get pretty. I mean, let me give you an example of my days off. And I have no. So I've got 17. No, actually, I've got 19 days off next month. I had 20 days off this month, and June I had 17 days off. And I think I've spent maybe 8 days in hotels the last 3 months. So I like my schedule. Have you heard much about ATP? What are your thoughts? You're talking about the flight school program, Aviation Blaze? Hey, I've known guys that come through there. You got to be hardcore, ready to go, but you can get it done. I don't really have anything against ATP. I think it's a good option for those that are willing to put in the time and be fully immersed. But it is a very much a pilot factory, so you got to be on speed. All right, it's been 2 minutes. The vote is 78% yes. All right, so as Chaos said, this is what might make us never leave the sim again. Now, I don't want to put the sun all the way down because I want to land at sunset, so we're going to kind of fast forward a little bit here. Where is the sun? There it is. Let's walk it back. Let's put it like 8:30 in the evening, all right? Okay, here we go. It's going to take a minute to kind of... I always get a stutter after I do that. See the 320... Oh, that's right, Chaos. 320 miles on the ND on the terrain. That's excellent. That is excellent. This is not X-Plane. You're right. All right, Jammin' 5, RNAV arrival. Well, I guess I got to put my iPad in night mode. Man, I'm so sad that I got to get up at 3 o'clock tomorrow morning, guys. It's not cool. There's no altitudes on this? That's interesting. So the approach for 16 right, then let's go ahead and we'll set a bottom of We'll set 10,000. Actually, for now, why don't we set 240? Let's step down, get into the low sector. 240. Mock descent. Ladies and gentlemen, we are beginning our descent into Salt Lake City. He bids all the flights that he can to the west. He loves going to NRT, but the time zone mess. Oh, your brother on the narrow body on QR before going to the 350. He loves long range, but the QOL with all the crazy time zones. Yes, suffering a lot on eastbound. That's right. Westbound is always better. Westbound is much easier on your body. I'm only speaking, I only transfer, what, four time zones, 3 time zones, east to west.
Down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
Wingnut's back in chat. Good to see Wingnut here, man. Yeah, Aviation Blaze, it's going to be an early bedtime tonight. I tried to get up early this morning, and I kind of did, but then I fell back asleep, so I need to, I'm going to try to eat something, and then I really am going to try to be in bed by like 7 or 8 o'clock. It's an early one. That is a proper sun. If y'all remember yesterday's sun, yes, you're right. Flight Dispatch has dispatched 5 memberships to the channel. Flight Dispatch, too kind of you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Very, very kind. I hope indeed that you are a sir. I feel like I say sir all the time just because it's a generalization of the profession. And my YouTube analytics tells me 99.8% of viewers are male. But thank you, Flight Dispatch. Appreciate you. Got the red eye to Dolus after this? Ooh, Wingnut, yeah, see. I thought you didn't do red eyes on that Adoptibus. You do red eyes on the Adoptibus? Isn't that why most guys bid it though? Because the schedule's better? I don't know. The white circle. That PA sounds exactly like me? Sounds pretty close. Sounds pretty close. 34.9 out of, yeah, we're starting down. All right. So set 11 on the downwind leg. All right. I'll tell you what, let's hustle down a 2-4. Let's do this. We'll go thrust idle open. There's no real constraints. I kind of want to get the sun to go behind this winglet here. Watch this. This is going to look really good. There's one red eye in the system, and you got it, winglet. Ouch. Ouch, man. Red eye to Dolus. Dolus, of all places. Dolus. Ugh. Isn't that where Ebola flew into? What do you think of ATP Flight School Direct? We're just talking about that. I mean, if you are one of those people that can handle that type of environment, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And like I said, the sooner that you get your number or your seniority number and you get your hours in, the better.
V1, another question for you. Which engine is difficult to take off at a high altitude airport?
Super deal. Appreciate the $1 bank hanger check, my friend. What is difficult to take off at a high altitude airport? I would say I wouldn't say it's difficult on any engine. But if you just look at the physics of it, the higher you are, the less bypass air helps you. So I would say that a Pratt & Whitney at high altitude is probably going to be a little bit more of a dog than a CEO. But, oh, look at that. Look at that shot, y'all. DCA Grid and Dolus for sure. Tiny Squid for sure. Is that... I haven't been to DCA in a long time, but there's a nice crate place. Used to be a crate place right there at the end of one of those piers. It could be worse. It could be Cleveland. That's true, Gustavo. It could be Cleveland. Does your YouTube analytics tell you why it always advertises erectile dysfunction? Adverts to me, Scotty too. No, that sounds like a personal problem, my friend. I have no idea. That might be some your own ad tracking there. The thing I love about arrivals into Salt Lake is that there are no speed restrictions on the start until 10K, and by that time you hit 10K, you're almost to the glide slope. Yeah, it comes quick. Speaking of, we're gonna set 190 and we're gonna hustle down. Watch this. We're gonna juice it up here. Wing view with some speed brake action. Oh yeah, and the sounds. Oh no, Cal Ferris is dropping memes too. It's just a joke. Just a joke. Because I swear my YouTube will base ads on what I've been talking about. What is a red eye? A red eye is when you fly through the WACL, or window of circadian low. Basically, you fly through the morning. So you take off at for example, let's say you leave LA at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. and you land in Dallas, which is Central Time. You're landing in Dallas at 5 a.m. So you just flew through the entire night window. Or you can do like you can leave LA at 9 p.m. and land in New York at 6 a.m. The opposite can be true, where you leave, say you leave Miami, which is my first ever flight on the Airbus, ever 319 out of Miami. It was Miami, LA. We were delayed. We left at like 11 p.m. 6.5 hours block, almost 7 hours block if I remember, because of the headwinds. We landed at LA and it was midnight. Really? But your body clock is saying it's 7 something in the morning. Does sim flying feel anything like real life? It gets you in the ballpark, Ryan. Gets you in the ballpark, my friend. Uh-oh. That's a sunset right there. Is Gold Seal instructor worth going for if I want to go to airlines? Just try. Don't blow it off, but if you can, great. If not, don't worry about it. Matter of fact, I have to renew my CFI next month, or else I am going to be expired. Aviation voice. That is the juice right there, my friends. That is a juicy shot. What's the next arrow showing on the flight plan? Probably a level off or vertical VNAV intercept. Pilot SB, yeah, 141 environment, more fast-paced. Studying at home will be key to staying ahead. And yes, study at home and use your sim. Even if you're not doing Part 141, with the sim functionality that we have in today's day and age, you could really be crushing every single lesson, because you could do the lesson you're expected to do. We might be a little bit early. Let's go 20 pal. I'll level off at 20. And we're going to speed up. Speed alt star. We're going to speed up here. You should be able to practice every lesson on your sim before you go and do it in real life. And that's really going to help you advance quickly for your training. No doubt. Most challenging to get ATP CFI. I think the CFI is probably one of the hardest ratings to accomplish. Because there's no bullshitting an examiner on a CFI. Like, you have to know all of the subject matter deep enough to be able to teach it, and you're being graded on your ability to teach it. So he doesn't care if you know it or not. He cares, do you know it enough that you can teach it to multiple people and multiple learning styles? That's what makes CFI difficult. Because you could be a great pilot, but you could be a terrible teacher. You could be a terrible pilot, and you could be a great teacher. So it presents its own set of challenges, for sure. Isn't worth much, but ATC generally heads across jamming at 17. Did we already pass jamming? Yeah, jamming is right there. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's just do this. Let's set 17. Thrust idle, open descent. All right, looks pretty good. My goodness. V2 plus 10, I agree. Yeah, the amount you learn doing a CFI is pretty crazy. If you think you know a subject, just wait till you have to know enough to teach it. That's when you really know a subject. Mr. Martini, you're right. You can be both. I left that out. I'm sorry. Yes, you can be both. You can be a great pilot and a great teacher. So. But I would say that's probably more on the rare side. Cody, yeah, it's like sports coaches who are great athletes and terrible coaches or vice versa. Exactly. Imagine being Tiger Woods' golf coach. Dude is a legend, yet you're coaching him, you know? It's like, why isn't the coach a legend? Same deal, right? Good teacher, maybe not the best player. My CFI initial oral was 6 hours, most difficult but rewarding. Exactly. My CFI oral was, I think, right about there. Well, 6 hours as well. 6 hours. I think that's right. Kenoki, another €5 super chat, man. Appreciate you. He says in Frankfurt, recently a rookie FO saved the plane. In Frankfurt, recently a rookie FO saved the plane when the captain passed out only a second before touchdown. That's training the hard way. Ah, man, Kenoki, that's crazy. Thanks for the €5 super chat, my friend. Passed out a few seconds before touchdown. Well, that's good job on the FO for being aware of the surroundings, and that his captain was not coherent. Thank you, Kenoki. And Thug Duck coming in with a $1 bank angle check. What was your order of written exams that you did? Oh my goodness. How many written must I do excluding PPL? Thug, I don't remember, my friend. I think it was PPL, instrument, and CFI instrument, and then my commercial, multi, ATP, I think. I don't know, you're asking me to dig back in the memory bank. I'm not terribly coherent either. Have you seen premium voices on Beyond A to C? No, I haven't. In a CFI oral, are you basically going through anything aviation related? Cody, put it this way. Nothing is off the table in a CFI oral. Nothing is off the table. The captain ate fish. Really, Gustavo? Is that what happened? The one in Europe, in Frankfurt? The captain ate fish and he passed out? Or are you just messing? Which flies better, Toga or fly-by-wire? Of course not in the systems, but in the movement. Super deal. I'll let you know on touchdown. Ask me when we land. Whichever one gives me the smoothest feet per minute on touchdown. No, I'm just messing. I'll tell you what, the takeoff, the fly-by-wire, and the TOLIS actually are very similar in one rotation. Comparing today's rotation with yesterday's rotation. I know we were in a 321 yesterday, but still very smooth. Everything felt pretty good. Yeah, it's an airplane. I know it's an airplane joke. Captain ate fish. I'm impressed. Gustavo busting out the airplane quotes. Aren't you Brazilian? That's good. I'm impressed. What was your hardest check ride? Hardest check ride. I don't know. Maybe commercial multi? There's just so much going on. I feel like the CFI check ride isn't terribly hard because if you mess up, and I remember this specifically doing my oh man, look at that mine down there. I remember doing the oh my goodness, look at that. Oh no, now the game's gonna crash. Rip. I remember doing lazy eights on my CFI check ride, and I wasn't gonna meet my altitude. I was gonna be a little bit outside of the PTS standard. So you use that, or I was inside of PTS standard, but I was a little off altitude. I was like right at the limit, I think. But you can use that as a teaching moment. So I even told the instructor or the FAA guys like. So you can see here I'm going to be I had a little bit too much pitch or whatever, I don't remember what it was. I basically explained as I was making the mistake, why I was making this mistake, why the airplane was deviating a little bit. That way he has an understanding of that I know why I'm a little bit off target, if that makes sense. So you can kind of use that to your advantage, where if you're on a commercial multi or an ATP and you're off, you're off. I mean, there's really no excuse. All right, but we got to focus, though. Here we go. I need to get replay going up because we're not an X-plane. I got to get flight recorder up. That is one thing X-plane will always hold true, is the replay is phenomenal. Look at this, though. Look at the sun just hitting the top of the mountains. The recorder is ready. Yeah, the sun just poking the top of those mountains. That is awesome. That is juice right there. And it's creeping up. Let's go ahead and descend to 1000, and then we'll slow to 250. Salt Lake City traffic, Frontier Flight 357 on downwind for 16 right. We're at 13,000. We'll take it out to about a 20-mile final. We'll give you guys some space.
I could have shorted Beehive, so if you want to maybe
All right, sounds good.
So it's just driving nice to be a clear one, right?
And the sun coming through the airplane here. Oh my goodness. I like the this is a shot. Now we're going right over the terminal. Oh, the sun is setting though. We want to watch the sun actually set here. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and scroll back. Oh no, I hit my mouse wheel. Mini FCU, where are you at? Let's come back to 250k knots. We'll get our Chinese speed brakes on. Oh, I can't see my overhead. We're gonna get all our lights on because there's no ATCs. You can hear that? Oh, that's awesome. Seatbelts on. Speed brake out. Sun is setting. Did you hear that wind noise when those landing lights came out? That was just perfect. Almost sounded louder too because we were at a higher rate of speed, which is true to the real airplane as well. You pop the landing lights out at 330 knots, it is loud. You pop them out at 250 knots, you can still hear it, but not as loud as 330 knots. Pros, maximum visual juice. Con, no no X-plane sun, I know. 9,000. Thrust idle, open descent. He's cutting it in over there. Gosh, that looks good. Yeah, Gina, you heard that noise with the lights? Yeah, it was great. All right, there she goes. The sun has set beyond the horizon.
PSA 901, 13 miles for 160 right.
Did he say PSA? I believe you're still American. Ah, chaos. Yes, you warned me. That was desktop background status for sure. So there he is on final right there. We can see them. We're going to turn inside of them. So there's no sense in flying 250 knots away from the airport. So let's go ahead and just come right back to 180 right now.
Traffic.
TCAS, I have control. Traffic in sight. There he is. We're slowing to 180. I got to turn on V-pilot a little bit. Let's go ahead and get the landing cam on. Do divs talk to you when they want to build a new Airbus? No. Only Tolis. And Chaos. The FlyByWire will be sporting the most study level real ISIS.
United 24, are you on approach for
on the next
16
update, right,
as well?
Chaos? Gonna have the ISIS updated. Flaps coming out. Let me see. Oh no, that looks pretty good, Chaos. That still looks pretty good there. Salt Lake City traffic. Frontier Flight 357, turn in base for 16 right. It's going to be about a 20-mile final from Salt Lake. Alright, heading selected. 000s. I'm going to turn my PFD brightness down. And let's do this. I'm just going to go all the way back Beehive so I can do more juicing. Yeah, app reviewer will. This is pretty darn close to what it looks like in real life. One of the biggest differences too is look at the way the lights spill on the ground. Like you see like these little houses down here, this road. You don't just have lights. You have the spill from the lights. Gosh, that sound was awesome. That little spool up there. We're gonna try to go direct to Beehive. We're overshooting all the finals. I should have. I should probably turn off the autopilot and just manually do this. Descend to 7,000, but I just want to look at all the juice. But the spill effect on the lighting is, I think, what really separates. This is real life. V1 is streaming from the flight deck. Yeah, we overshot that final for sure. Frontier Flight 357, make it heading 185 to join, cleared ILS 16 right approach. Alright, 185 on the heading, cleared ILS 16 right approach. Slope blue, glide slope blue, Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1+2. What's field elevation? 4,200 feet, 2,000 above that is 6,200 feet. We're already at flaps 2, we're below 180, so we're looking good. Salt Lake City traffic, Frontier Flight 357, final, 16 right, 20 miles out. Don't pull an XP72. Yeah, rip flaps on this one though. Sorry, Wignut. There's no. It's not the best flaps for sure.
So like traffic PSA 901, we're clear at 16 right like Bob.
Hopefully, I'm sure they will. Fenix will have when they release the IAEs V2. I'm sure they're aware that the flaps are a little bit steeper, so we'll have some real nice juicy flaps when the V2 releases. All right, we're at 7 for 6, or no, actually we're leveling 7,000. Speed alt star, runway's in sight. I think I just went through some wake turbulence here. Look at this. What? PTU went off because of other correction. This is an old bird, Chaos. How do I know how old this Neo is? Maybe Wingnut's been flying this one around, been beating it up. These carrier landings. All right, I need to start recording. Recording is on.
Salt Lake 3495 downwind for 16 right.
When will I do a flight to San Juan, Puerto Rico? Captivilla Gaming.
Traffic, Frontier 4946, trying to base for
These are fly-by-wire standard sounds. Yes, Jamie, there is no add-on on this, which is incredible. Look at this, though. This is just this sim, guys. Welcome home. That's all I can say is just welcome home. That traffic there over the lake. Flight slope's alive. I feel like this guy really dropped the anchor up there. Let's slow it up early. I tell you what, because he's at 5 miles and shrinking fast. Let's go 160 flaps 3. A little bit out of sequence. We'll do it for Wingnut though. We'll get a little extra flap action in there. Look at how, yeah, the CFM leap wings are. I don't want to, because that guy seems like he's dropped the anchor. Flaps 3, 160. Here comes the glide slope. Aviator Nick agreed. Yeah, that's the difference. This is stock. All right, glide slope star. I don't know what going altitude is. Let's go ahead and set, let's just set 8,000. Going altitude set 8,000 white. We'll manage it up, and then we'll do this. That thunk, though. That thunk is amazing.
Well, it's traffic focus right now for 10 miles, 5 miles. About 15 miles, 5 miles.
Oh. Flaps full. Man, that is just the flap sound though. The flap sound is 10 for 10. All right, that's so low. Going altitude set, landing checks, chem crew advised. Auto thrust is speed. Auto brakes are off. ECAM memo should pop up here at 2,000 rad out, so we've got about 200 feet to go. Could read it off manually, but we're just going to be lazy pilots and wait till we go through 140 feet, and then we'll be able to just say ECAM memo, landing on you. Yes, Big Ralph, very realistic thumb sound, very realistic. It's very prominent in the airplane. There it is, 2,000 feet, cabin check. Let's go ahead and land this. Autopilot's off. Should we leave the auto thrust on or off? What did we do yesterday? I'll tell you what. I'm gonna leave the auto thrust on. Nah, that's lame. Let's turn it off. Match and mash. Set the right on the donuts there. Oh, so look, and there you go. Lever climb. This is a good learning. When you disconnect the auto thrust, see the donuts, the blue donuts. Match them to where they are, and then hit the disconnect. Which I don't have bound. Oh, I do have bound. There we go. Now it's there. Auto thrust is off, and there's no big change in thrust. If you just click the auto thrust off when they're in the climb detent, guess what's going to happen? You're going to speed up, you're going to be high, and you're going to pull an XP-72, and you're going to have to go around. So match and mash is what we refer to it in the Airbus. We're looking good. 2 whites, 2 reds. This is a Payware Salt Lake. I don't remember who made it, though. Yeah, I think it's the only one. Get your float predictions in right now. Oh, yeah, got a flare. Got a flare.
1,000.
I'm actually nervous for tomorrow because I've been flying all these sims. Hopefully one of them represents the real thing.
Solid traffic, United 464, holding short, running 16 right.
Microsoft cannot fly a glide slope for some reason. Bang on the pappies. Alright, I'm going to follow the pappies. Right, let's go up.
500.
There's no way I'm a full dot high. There's no way. Full dot low right there. 500 feet at a mile.
400. Minimum. $200.
I'm going to fly my own glide slope, and I'm going to cross right at 50 feet. Watch this.
100. 50.
Perfect.
40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Spoilers. Reverse green decel. A little bit of a crosswind there. Haven't even touched the brakes yet. Now I'm going to touch the brakes. 70 knots, idle reverse. What do we get? What do you see? 228? Hey, I'll take that. That's probably pretty realistic. 228, I will take that. Slowing it down, slowing it down. All right, now I need some juice. That was better than what did we have the other day? A 463? It does like to float in Microsoft.
Clear?
Yeah, frontier flight 3%, we're clear 165.
That. Frontier 2946. Landing.
We'll double back. Let's clean it up. So now, I don't know what our brake temp simula is, but I don't think they're going to be super hot because I did not even touch the brakes until we were about 80 knots. We'll leave the lights on for replay. Plus, we can see night lighting better this way. Is no auto brake standard procedure? For us, they leave it up to us. Some airlines, they make you turn it on every landing. But we're treated like adults. Now, where auto brake is a big help is in strong crosswinds for sure. Because you're going to have a habit of using your upwind leg in a crosswind and you're going to smoke one side of the brakes and not the other. Now you can start having issues. So when there's a strong crosswind, big advocate for auto brakes. Standing water, slush, big advocate for auto brakes. Hot 35C on a 12,000 foot runway? No. Use the reversers, slow down. Don't piss off the next crew. Let's go park over here next to these guys. Look how the strobes aren't this hard light like X-Plane.
Like traffic United 464 lining up 163.
You guys didn't leave me a gate? Hell. We'll park right here at Bravo 2.
First leg traffic was 495, double tail left, 16 right in the mine.
Can barely see the line. I feel like our nose gear is flat. Erp. Ooh, that was a hard erp, and we were a little long on that one. Hard erp and a little long. All right, we're here. We're down. We don't want to shut it off because it's Microsoft.
Inside the cabin, project A146, clear runway 16.
Let's wind it back a little bit.
Like traffic United 464 taking off runway 16 right.
Ooh, this ought to be interesting. Someone's taking off and someone's landing. Let's see this takeoff. Let's see this takeoff and then we'll hit the replay. Want to do a compression test? Oh, we might have to do that. Rip Shack Oatmeal Eyes. I know. We're sitting at the gate with all the lights on. Is that a 7.3? Look at that, 7.3. Trying to take a look at the lighting there on the ground. Looks just like a little ball. Ooh, a split scimitar. Adios. Have fun going to Denver. It looked like you just hit the tail on that one. That was definitely a tail strike. Rookies. Alright, let's go over here.
Like traffic United 464 clear of runway 16 right.
We got one more landing. We'll watch this landing. We'll see how much of a float we got. And then we should do a compression test, Chaos. We'll do a compression test and then we'll watch the replay. Let's brighten it up a little bit more for this one. Alright. No pressure, whoever this is. What do we got? Is that a 7.3 out there? It is. Another 7.3 coming in. Alright. Don't mess this up. Pretty stable. Looks a little low over the threshold. Looks a lot low. Oh, we put it right on the paint though. Right on the aiming markers. Showing off. He must be parking on the north side. Oh, it's Alaska. Yeah, he's parking on the north side, so he wanted to put it down. That was right on the markers. That was a good deal. All right, let's do a quick compression test here at the gate. All right, I'm going to disconnect from VATSIM so I don't have to listen to that extremely loud airplane. Let's do a compression test of the nose gear. Now remember, when I did this in the X-plane, I forgot I only had one engine running. I only had one engine running, so it wasn't as dramatic as I thought. But here we go. Oh, let me put you in regular full screen cam. Let's take a look at the nose gear strut as we go full power here. That's pretty good. Definitely has some squat to it. That is pretty good. Pretty good. All right, flaps probably about 3 for the record. Look at that big fat slat just coming out right there. I love that. I love that. That number 1 slat is probably my favorite one. It's just a nice big piece of metal. All right. Let's go replay mode. Let's go sail pause. Let's go into airplane, and let's go here. Let's go replay. We'll do the sunset as well. Gotta let the airplane catch up, do airplane things. All right, there it is. There's the sunset. Full flaps coming in. I'm gonna leave this long one for you guys. But I want to see the touchdown. So let's zoom it forward.
2,500. 1,500.
Here we go.
300.
See how we did. Aviator Nick, thanks for the 5 membership gifts to the channel. If you pick one up here right at the end from Aviator Nick, appreciate you. Thank you, Aviator Nick. Very kind. Is slat 2 not a bigger piece of metal? It might be, but this one just seems a little bit more rigid. It's shorter. Ooh, that seemed like a pretty decent touchdown. Hold on. Oh, from this view it did. Let's see how we did here. So I will say for a fact, in Microsoft, when you get down and you bring that power out, it likes to float. We had 0 float in both Toluses. 0 float. See, I could flare it more, but then we're going to be outside of the touchdown zone. That was all right. I don't think that was very bad at all. You know, if I were to flare this more, yeah, I could smooth it out, of course, but I don't want to do that. And I thought we were pretty much right at 50 feet here. Let's pause this right at the replay here. Right at the 50-footer, right? Should be right about there. All right, so we're over the threshold, looking for 50 over the numbers. We are at 40 feet, RA right there. That's pretty good.
30.
A 220 something? All right. We don't really argue with it. Normally, I'm not going to start arguing with the landing replay now. But that is going to wrap it up. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Ooh, I got to just start my speed brake. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream here as we repeated our route from Salt Lake to San Diego, doubled back in Microsoft. I hope you found it entertaining. I hope you found some clarity in your simulators, whichever one you like to fly. I'm off to fly the real thing tomorrow, 3 legs. I'll be up early, so I'm going to bed now. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. Kyle Lewis caught me there with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Thanks for the stream, V1. Tomorrow's early morning coffee is on me. Kyle Lewis. Cheers, my friend. Appreciate you. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Aviator Nick. Thank you, Kanopi. Thank you, Super Dill, Thug Duck. All who donated. Appreciate all the support. Until the next one, it might be a couple days. I got a birthday for my little girl on Sunday, so it might be a couple days unless we do Friday. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. If you're a member, tune in for the shorts video. I will see you on the flip side. I'm V1. See you.
300. 300. 200.